Welcome to the Whitworth Pirate Podcast. Every show will feature pirate student athletes telling us about their lives as students, athletes, and people. Now, here is your host, Bud Nameck.
And once again, time for the Pirate Podcast. We're going to talk men's and women's basketball and indoor track and field over the next hour or so. And I'll say aloha because our first guest is two Hawaiians on the Pirate men's basketball team. Jake Holtz, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. About yourself?
It's been an interesting season so far. Huh? Kind of a good stretch, a not so good stretch, and now another good stretch.
Yep, definitely. We definitely had some bumps across the road, but as of late, I mean, it's better to learn from winning rather than learning from losing. So we've had a few games we thought we could have stretched out the lead a bit more, but nonetheless we came out with a win. So it's good to learn from those.
Went through a 4-game losing streak, and that hasn't happened for a long time. Got to go all the way back to 2004 for Whitworth to do that. How'd you handle that as a team, as a player first, and then as a team together?
I feel like that was a really big character building moment for us, and we just kind of had to find our roles as a team, and especially as of late, going 6-0 in conference. That's been huge for us, and I feel like we've kind of defined our roles as a team and executed well with plays that coach has been putting in to make us slow down the game a little bit more. That's helped us.
And that's supposed to happen. Here you are in a senior year, but you're going to get another year to play. And you talk to folks, and as they make the transition from high school to college, or folks who go from college to pro, they talk about how it takes time for the game to slow down for them.
Yes,
Did you go through that your freshman year?
Yeah. I mean, when I came in as a freshman, all I knew was how to score, and I've had to learn how to pass and run plays and stuff like that. So it's been a good development for me, especially as a senior now. I feel like the game has been opening and slowing down a lot for me, passing-wise, and yeah.
It's kind of interesting because Coach Damian Jablonski and I talk a little bit about things here and there, and one of the things we've talked about this year is how Gonzaga's success and Whitworth's success have kind of paralleled. You know, both teams in the upper echelon as far as the records go over the years and everything. And here it is, a strange situation for Gonzaga that their fans are having a tough time dealing with the fact that they probably are going to have to win the West Coast Conference tournament to get into the NCAA tournament. And with the way things went in the non-conference season for the Pirates, facing the same thing. You guys basically know you have to win the Northwest Conference tournament to get to the NCAA tournament.
Yep, exactly. And I feel like to up our chances with that, we need to win out in conference, host a tournament, play at our home court, and that'll give us the best shot to make it to the tournament and hopefully make it far, and not a first-round exit like the past couple years. So looking forward to that.
Do you think that can make a difference, the fact that you guys are not yet, but you're in a sense almost in your playoffs as the regular season winds down and then to the conference tournament to get a chance to advance? Will that hone you a little bit better for the tournament?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, throughout my career here, we haven't outright won the conference. We tied when I was a sophomore, so that's a big goal for us. And obviously we won at Whitman last year in the conference championship, but I feel like if we host, that'll just give us that much more of an edge.
So why would you leave the sunshine, the beaches, the warmth of Hawaii to come to Whitworth in Spokane, where it's -8 below, wind chills -20 the last couple of days? Why would you do that?
Well, growing up there for pretty much all my life, I wanted to get off the island and kind of have a different experience. A lot of my high school buddies have come up here and played football as well, so just hearing from their experiences, I know that Whitworth's a great school. I've enjoyed it thus far, and I feel like I made the right decision coming here. So.
And you were a quarterback in high school. Was there a decision to be made between football and basketball?
There definitely was. Believe it or not, it was either here or Pacific Northwest or Central Michigan. I would have played football at Central Michigan, or I was looking at Sonoma State for basketball, which is Northern Cali. And I took a bunch of visits and ended up feeling like Whitworth was the best fit for me. So,
why was that? What was it?
I just always have been a part of smaller communities. My high school was a smaller school. Whitworth's a smaller school, and I felt like I knew a lot of people here, and just the vibe, I guess, was the right fit for me. And basketball was what I had fun most doing, and Sonoma State was a losing school. Whitworth's a winning program, so just made the most sense.
When we were in Hawaii for the tournament, we'll talk more about that a little bit. I was able to spend some time chatting with your mom and dad and enjoy that when they get a chance to come to games here. But it was interesting to hear what your mom was talking about, because you grew up, you lived in Kapolei, and Damien Memorial, where you go to school, is kind of close to downtown Honolulu. So so you got a little bit of a trek.
Oh, yeah.
And your day started early?
Very early. I mean, traffic is awful in Hawaii. Anybody that lives there knows, especially coming from the west side. So, yeah, I'd have like 4:45 wake-ups and just to beat traffic, and then get to school about 5:30, get some shots up, and school starts 7:30, and football practice, basketball practice afterwards. So I feel like that really conditioned me to be good at using my time management. And
Yeah, time management's huge.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't know that skill, when you get to college, you learn it quickly. Otherwise, you're going to sink.
Yes, definitely. Especially being a student athlete, definitely have learned that.
So let's talk about that trip to Hawaii. That was exciting for you to get a chance to go home and play in front of family and friends.
Yep. Not the outcome we wanted, but nonetheless, it was a great experience to go home. And usually it's only for 4 days, and it was for 10, 11 days this time. So that was really nice, especially showing all the boys, the teammates around the island, all the spots that I've grown up going to. So it was a great experience.
And the families, Liam Fitzgerald's family and your family and Hayden's family, kind of little catered dinner on the beach a couple of nights?
Yep, definitely. Yeah, that was nice of their families, and good food. Always good food back there.
Yes, it is. You were talking about the games didn't go the way you wanted them to. Personally, it didn't go the way you wanted to. You pressing a little bit?
Yeah, that was a rough outing. I missed a lot of shots that I usually don't.
Too much adrenaline?
Yeah, I kind of felt like I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to perform, especially having all my friends and family from back home. But they know what I'm capable of, and they support me no matter what. So.
Well, and if they paid attention, when you got back home, you went on a tear.
Oh, yeah. I was definitely playing with a chip on my shoulder.
What was the impact of that win over Elmhurst? Because you guys were in the doldrum right then, and Elmhurst comes in unbeaten, number 15 in the nation, and you took care of them.
Yeah, that might have been the craziest game I've been a part of. Back and forth the whole second half, and JoJo coming away with that steal at the end and slowly following it up after the missed layup. That was a huge adrenaline rush, big win for us. I felt like that kind of snowballed into our conference season, and kind of gained momentum from that.
It's kind of interesting, the makeup of this team. You and JoJo have been the leading scorers. There haven't been a ton of games, a handful here or there, where the two of you have kind of had big games at the same time. Yeah. Quite often it's been one or the other, and then there's this different. Sully's been pretty regular, but a different cast of characters who are stepping up, and all of a sudden Ty Edwards, you can't stop him.
Yeah.
2 of the last 3 games, he's scoring like crazy.
Yeah, I know. He's been playing a lot stronger, a lot bigger than he has been playing, so it's good to see that from him. We have a lot of talent on our roster, and I feel like if we just put the pieces together, we can make it really far.
What's it going to take for this team to take that next step, though?
That's a really good question. I really feel like just executing the plays that Coach puts in for us, everybody playing to their potential, taking good shots, patient on offense, just following the game plan. Coaches know what they're doing, so we just got to execute that.
You're not the typical Hawaiian, though. You're pretty fiery. A lot of Hawaiians are pretty laid back, and even athletes that I've seen in 4-year colleges kind of go with the flow a little bit. But you got a little more inside of you. Is that from your dad being a military guy, growing up in California, or is it the Japanese influence of your mom?
Honestly, it's probably a bit of both. That's always how I've played throughout my life. So it's just something that stuck through me. It's just I just got to suppress it sometimes and not let it take control of me. I feel like I've done a lot better job of that in the past couple years. It's always good to play with a little emotion, but not too much. So
yeah, there's an edge.
Yep.
Yeah. Talk about school a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, coming back next year for my master's, play another year, since came in during COVID years, so make the most of that opportunity. I don't know how I'd feel if I was a senior right now. Time has flown by, so I'm grateful I get another opportunity to come back.
Yeah, when you get to this time of year in your senior year, and we'll talk to Dawson Driggs about this in a minute, it's hard because you start thinking about, I only have this many practices left. I only have this many games left.
Yep. I know that's how Jerry's feeling right now, so just got to cherish it. This is not going to be forever, so yeah.
So I know you have hopes because of your mom being Japanese that you might have a chance to continue your basketball in Japan once college is over. Are you still hoping for that?
That was the goal throughout my career so far. Right now I'm a little iffy about it. It really depends on the financials. The experience would be wonderful to do that, but really I would like to start work after my master's unless I get a G League opportunity or overseas, like substantial contract, something like that.
Okay. So with the MBA, a business degree, business master's, ideally, if you could write your own job description, what would it be?
Oh, I do not know what I want to do yet, but obviously something in the business realm. My dad's project manager for the Army right now, so that's something that I know he's enjoyed and makes good money off of.
Gets to travel around the world, too.
Yeah. So that's something I'd be open to, but who knows? It's too early for me to tell.
Too early, huh? All right. Well, you got a lot of basketball still ahead of you.
Yes, sir.
Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Jay Colts, and we'll continue to talk basketball. Dawson Driggs from the women's team will join us as we continue on the Pirate Podcast.
I met Anidas 10 years ago when he first came to New America. He didn't have bad credit, but he just had no credit to begin with. I took the time to really go over some options with him and figure out what steps he needed to take in order for him to build that positive credit to the point where, fast forward 10 years down the road, he's got his business account with New America, he's got his personal accounts with New America, and he's looking to buy his second home also with New America. That was a sense of fulfillment for me in saying, hey, I helped him get through these steps.
And we continue on the Pirate Podcast with basketball. Dawson Driggs from the women's team joins me. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. You know, we just talked to Jay Colts, the Hawaiian, about dealing with this cold weather.
I know.
You're from Sandpoint. You're used to this
I'm
stuff.
very used to it. Yep. Growing up there pretty much all my life. Hot in the summer, which is nice, but definitely cold in the winter, so kind of best of both worlds. But yeah, it's just another normal winter, except feels not as snowy, which is kind of weird. Just cold.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely used to it.
So was Schweitzer your backyard when you were growing up? Were you up there skiing all the time?
Yep.
Skier or snowboarder?
Grew up more snowboarding.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Can't
But didn't do much of it because of basketball
I was going to
season.
say, yeah. You don't, and
yeah,
now,
it's hard.
Now especially, right?
Yeah. Now I'm lucky to get to go home when I can. So yeah, not as much right now, but hopefully we'll pick up back up after.
Yeah, I was going to say, you miss it?
Graduate. A little bit of free time and all that fun stuff. Get outside, but yeah, definitely cherishing my senior year and making the most of it. So that stuff will be there when I'm done.
It will be. You're right. You'll have plenty of time to enjoy it. How'd you get from Sandpoint to Whitworth?
Yeah, I definitely wanted to be close to home. My parents and family have supported me all my life, and so it was really important for them to be able to come and watch me. They come every weekend they can. They travel to Portland. They were there last weekend for our games. They came to the Boise games this year. They're just really passionate about supporting me, which I'm really thankful for. And so, ultimately I wanted to be somewhere in the Pacific Northwest. Visited Whitworth a little bit, was talking to them. But for me, it was also more about the schooling side as well. I'm a health science major, and so just heard great things about the program and how it sets you up well to do grad school and all those things. And so it was kind of the student-athlete balance for me as well as being supported from home.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. First, I have to ask you, since your folks have been coming to the game so much, this being your senior year, after these next few games and you're done, who's going to miss it more, you or them?
Honestly, probably my parents. Yeah, they just love coming to all the games, and I just know they'll be there for me. My youngest sister is a junior in high school, and so they'll have her senior year next year, so I think they'll be able to adjust a little bit from not having to watch me play, but still getting to watch her play, which will be a good adjustment for them, not going just stone cold away
Have
from
they had
basketball.
troubles at all with schedules? And maybe
A little
one parent
bit.
comes to your game, one comes to your sister's?
There has actually. With my sister just playing in the area, sometimes my dad will come or sometimes my mom will come. Actually, on Friday when we play Puget Sound, my sister has a game in Rathdrum at 4, and so they're going to go to her game. Rathdrum's probably about 45 minutes-ish away from here, and then right after that they're coming to my game at 6. And so, yeah, they live for it. It's what
Hopefully
they love.
they'll get all the sno cleared off the roads.
Yeah.
But being
Yeah.
from Sandpoint, you can drive in the snow,
They're
no
fine.
problem. How good a player is your sister?
She's good. I have another sister who just graduated last year, and they won state last year for Sandpoint, the 4A state champs.
Nice.
So, yeah, that was really cool for them to be able to win that together. And, yeah, she's my sister, a junior now. She's a post and just battles all of the big girls from around here, and, yeah, loves it.
Okay. She a 2-time team MVP like you were?
Working on it.
Really?
She's
Got a
working
chance,
on it.
huh?
Yep.
Okay.
I think she has a chance.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
She going to play in college, you think?
I'm not sure.
Or does she have a desire to, you think?
She's also a little golfer.
Oh.
Yeah, the girls' team got, I think, 3rd at state this year. So, yeah, she also has a little golf passion, which
Okay.
is, yeah. So, either direction. I know she loves being active and loves playing sports, so.
So your folks were in Portland last weekend. So they saw you hit a clutch 3 and then 2 free throws late in that win over Linfield. That would be pretty cool for you and for them.
Yeah, all they want for me is to succeed. They've supported me so much. They've seen me battle injuries my whole career here, and so they just want me to have the best senior that I can. They know how much potential I have. They want to come to the games to see me perform because they know what I can do, and so, yeah, I was definitely thinking of them in the clutch. They just want to see us win, too. They know how passionate I am, and they have just seen so many of the close games we've had that we could have won but haven't, and so to come out with a win and to do it in front of them it meant a lot. I also had some other family there from, like, just around the area, and so it was cool to have them there and just feel supported.
Hey, it was nice to have anybody there with the way
Yeah,
the roads were
it
and the
was.
snow was and
Yeah.
everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And you talked about not quite getting over the hump in some of these close games. And the last 2 years, you look at this team and finishing really a game out of getting to the Northwest Conference tournament. That has to have been a tough thing to deal with.
Yeah, it's something we kind of touch on. We have touched on a lot this year, is that we need to be winning. We don't want to count on what we had to last year, which was
Somebody
we had
else
to
to
win,
help you,
someone
yeah.
else had to lose. Like, you just never want to be in those situations. You just want to win, secure your spot, be in the conference tournament, and have a chance to go to the NCAA tournament, which is something I know we've all dreamed of, seeing the guys do it year after year. Like, it's something we know that's possible and that the team is capable of, but we haven't done the things that we need to do the past year to get there, but I know we're really trying this year.
Linfield's really improved, but you managed to beat them on their home court.
Yeah.
Can that be one of the steps to
Yeah.
help you guys get to where you want to go?
Yeah, we came into Linfield. Their record is good this year. They beat Whitman the night before, and so we weren't sure really what they were going to look like. They seemed like a pretty new team from the last year, and so we definitely had a chip on our shoulder. We've beaten Linfield, I think, the past couple years, but I mean, the conference is a whole new conference this year. And so we really were just focusing on the things that we know how to do, trusting Kenny with the scout, trusting him with our offense. And yeah, I think it really just comes down to holding each other accountable, doing the things we know how to do, and trusting Kenny because he's really knowledgeable and knows what he's doing. So
Kind of one of the things to get over that hump, too, is this team always seems to have a stretch at some point in the game where the ball just will not go in the basket. How frustrating is that when you're playing, and how do you change that?
Yeah, I think we talk about it having like high highs and low lows, and we're just trying to go to like a steady point to where we don't have any like super lulls and don't have any like super highs. Just kind of keep it consistent throughout. I think we just need to come together as a team and just keep doing the things that we know how to do. Sometimes it feels like there's a lid on the basket, but if we're doing the things that Kenny's telling us, we're running our offense, we're trusting each other, then eventually shots are going to fall. And so I think it's just not getting in our heads, not putting our heads down, but just coming together and kind of sticking through it, because there's going to be like times when you don't score and times where it gets hard, but it's how you kind of react to that and overcome it instead of let it control you.
Yeah. You've been playing on teams that haven't had a whole lot of size. You've probably had to guard some post players in the past. This year, having Zalisa in the middle and what she's been able to do defensively and rebounding, how fun's that?
It's awesome. Yeah, we really haven't had a true five, I want to say, throughout my whole college career. I mean, we had Devin last year, but she wasn't super tall. And Z, she has such long arms. She's so aggressive. She can just, I mean, even in practice, I'm like, she just grabs all the rebounds, and it's awesome because everyone knows that we can trust her when she's out there, that she's going to get rebounds. She's going to get offensive rebounds. She can post up, and we trust her down low. We trust her guarding, some of the best posts in the conference. And so as a freshman, it's really impressive that she has that capability, and I think she's really going to shine the rest of her college career.
I was going to say, since you're done playing, you have to keep coming and watch her because she
know.
really is just starting to understand basketball. It seems.
Yeah. I mean, your freshman year is hard enough adjusting to college play, like the pace, just everything. And so I feel like your freshman year, you're really getting everything under your belt, and then from there, she's just going to keep progressing and dominating, and I'm really excited to see what she can do.
You went through a coaching change. How hard's that?
It was hard because we was just freshman year, COVID year was just kind of hard adjusting to college and college athletics and all those things. Sophomore year was also just a struggle. We weren't doing very good. No one was like super happy. And so the coaching change was probably pretty scary because we weren't sure where our future was going to go. We didn't really know who we wanted, who we needed. But when we met with Kenny, I mean, everyone just like fell in love with him. We loved the things that he had to say. We loved the things that he wanted to do. His like mind about basketball. He's familiar with Whitworth. I mean, being with the men's team, I know he misses them. But we are really, really thankful to have him. And I've really loved his coaching the past 2 years, and I'm really thankful that it was a hard adjustment, but I think for the better because he has been everything that I've wanted in a coach for college.
Was it intimidating? I mean, here's a guy who was the conference player of the year. He was a D3 All-American, and then and then all of a sudden he's coaching you.
I know. Yeah, he's definitely really knowledgeable and really skilled at basketball, and so it can be hard because he's going from coaching boys to coaching girls, and how he's gonna, make that transition and those kinds of things. But we all have our own personal relationship with him, and he makes things fun, and we joke with him. We call him All-American Love. I mean, we like him. He's good.
Health sciences, you can go a lot of different directions with that. What are you thinking about?
Yeah, so I have my kind of graduation plan major set up to go to physical therapy school. I decided I'm going to take a gap year and just work. I work at a PT clinic now. I'm taking a little break with basketball, but I've worked there the past 2 years, just gaining experience, planning on volunteering at a hospital over the next year and just getting more experience and clinical hours and all those things, and then applying to, I really want to stay closer to this area again for just my family support, and I like being in this area, and so I'm going to apply to Eastern and Whitworth this next coming year to hopefully get into PT school and go that route.
So you get through with PT school and you're ready to start practicing. You going back to Sandpoint, or you like Spokane enough to stick around here?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Definitely the Pacific Northwest. I love the weather, and even though it can be freezing it's just what I've always known. So I feel like I'll definitely stay in this area. I'm not sure where, but again, probably stay closer to family and not move across the country and do something crazy. But who knows? Who knows?
We talked to Jake a minute ago about senior year, and he's going to end up being blessed with another senior year.
Yeah.
You're looking at it now. This weekend's games put you halfway through the conference season. That starts kind of making the clock tick a little bit.
Yeah, it's weird to think about. I think about it all the time. All I've known is playing basketball growing up. Started in elementary school, and so for these to be my final games like ever competitively it's a lot to take in. I came into my senior year knowing this was going to be my last year ever and just wanting to make the most of it and cherishing every single day when we have 2-a-day practices, like, hey, this is one of the last 2-a-days I'm ever going to get to have. And so really just looking at everything in a positive way. After one of our losses this past weekend at George Fox, I was talking with the team and I was like, every time we're on the court, we just need to leave it, everything we have on there, like for any period of time that you're on the court, like you just need to play like it's your last game you're going to play, because for us seniors, these are our last games that we're ever going to play. And I know for the freshmen, the sophomores, like I was in their position, like I knew I had, like, so what, we lost. We have so many more games to look forward to, but now it's just coming to a point and realizing like we don't have any more games left and we want to keep playing for as long as we can, and so we need to keep winning these conference games, especially in the second go around, learn from our mistakes from the first half and really put ourselves in a position to just keep getting better and keep winning games.
All right, good luck the rest of the way. Finish strong.
Thank you.
Dawson Driggs. We're going to turn our attention to track and field. Renee Timalu will be joining us. We'll be talking about her throwing prowess. That's up next on the Pirate Podcast.
I met Chris, it was actually through a phone call, and he was talking to me about his landscaping company, and he was looking to get some financing to buy a truck, a trailer, and some heavy equipment. What I like about Numerica is when it comes to decision making, it's right down the hall from my office. And we're able to meet his needs within a month. It feels great to see a business expand.
And we continue on the Pirate Podcast, and we move from basketball to track and field. We'll talk indoor track and field first. We might even touch on volleyball too with Renee Timalu. How are you?
I'm doing good. A little tired because I just got out of practice and was lifting, but we're good.
Okay. Well, I know this is going to be really tough because, as you can tell, Renee's just not very talkative. She's very shy, very quiet.
Just a little bit.
And that makes for being a team leader.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more of the physical team leader and not like very vocal, but I'm very loving.
Follow my actions instead of my
Yeah.
words. Yeah. So what led you to come from the wet side of the state to the dry, cold, snowy side of the state?
I can't even lie. Like my senior year of high school, I was like, let's just get away from my family, but close enough I can still come and visit whenever I want to. So that's the reason why Whitworth was my choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And to play volleyball and track at the same time, or was that the decision coming out of high school?
Funny story. I was originally only supposed to be doing track, and I think it was like 1 week before like volleyball was supposed to come for training. They called me and was like, "Hey, we need another DS. We were wondering if you wanted to come and like not really try out, but be on our team." And I was like, you know what? Maybe this is a calling, and I should just do volleyball. So I said yes, and I came and played for 4 years.
And it's a fun team to be a part of, I would think, with all the success.
Oh yeah,
volleyball
I
teams have.
loved all the girls from my freshman year all the way up to my senior year. So that was really nice.
And even though you didn't play this year, you're kind of an honorary player, right?
Yeah, the girls make fun of me because I would always just sit in their practice and just watch them. I do miss it, but at the same time, I knew it was done. I was ready to be done with track or volleyball.
What did you learn from being a part of a team sport like volleyball to more of an individual sport like you're dealing with in track?
Yeah, I mean, for Whitworth track and field, Coach Toby makes it a team thing. So that's why it didn't really like shift from a team to individual. I mean, when I go out to throw I always think about my team and like what can I do to help them score, especially at conference. And so every throw is about my team. It's about how can I help support them? How can we get the most points? So that's what I'm always thinking about.
So indoor season going right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you train differently for indoor than you do for the outdoor season?
I train mostly shot put because that's my main event, especially. So I'm not really focusing on discus or even
A
hammer.
little tougher to throw that inside, right?
Oh yeah. So we're just focusing on shot put. We're really getting my technique. We're like trying to shift some things around and trying to make me throw better, get my technique down. So they're on the plane to nationals. Yeah,
That would be good.
that would be nice.
Outdoor last year, conference champion.
Yeah, it was on my team. Like I said, like I'm always thinking about my team. There's nothing just for Renee. It's always about my team. So whenever I win, I'm like, this is for you guys, not just for me.
And just to be able to accomplish that and then have another year to try to push it forward.
Yeah.
Is that exciting? Does it put pressure on you?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
It's definitely, there's pressure, but there's also so much excitement because I know the past 4 years that I've been here, it's like you're almost there at nationals, you're almost there. But this year I'm like so ready, especially since I took the fall of just being a track athlete and I'm training so hard, I'm lifting, getting strength and not like losing all of that. So yeah.
See, I don't know anything about how to be a good shot putter, good discus thrower. I just think shot put, I think strength.
Yeah.
But is explosiveness a part of that too?
Oh, for sure. When you hit that middle, it's explosive, but also speed. And we're working on both of that for me because that's where I lack some of that. But we're going to get it. We're going to get it.
Is it hard or just because you practice so often
Yeah.
to get the timing down?
Yeah, timing is definitely hard for me. I'm trying to stick stuff, but then I lack something else. And we're like, okay, let's tweak this. And it's, okay, we got that, but now we have to get everything once all together.
So right now, you're able just to focus on that for the shot put.
Yeah.
When you get to outdoor, you got to be able to compartmentalize a little bit because you got to focus on different things for the discus and the javelin.
I mean, our coaches understand, like, shot put is my main event. And so every track meet on outdoor, I'm doing shot put, and I'm switching off with discus and hammer every other week. And so that's still me focusing on shot put mainly. And then after conference, we're like, okay, we're just sticking to this.
Yeah, I said javelin, I meant hammer, but just in terms of the old adage is to get better, you have to practice the things that you don't do well. So if shot put is your strength, does that mean in the outdoor season, do you try to put a little more time into discus and hammer, or does that defeat what you're doing with the shot put?
Well, we do longer practices on certain days. So I'm still getting the same amount of time for shot put and then just a little bit more time for the other two events. So I'm not really losing any time for shot put.
Okay. During the indoor season, how cool is it to have the podium to practice in and then compete in?
Oh my gosh, I love the podium. It's like every time I'm there, I'm like, all right, it's game time. This is where you're going to break your record, and this is how we're going to do it. Like, I'm stepping in there like I'm competing. Yeah.
It's a neat environment.
Oh, yes. I love it. All of my teammates love it too, and we're so thankful that all of our donors, like, help us be able to run that out.
So let's talk about the student part of being a student athlete.
Yeah. Well, I've changed my major a couple of times since I've been here. I was an elementary ed, and then I switched over to business, and then I'm now a math major, going into teaching, hopefully, for my master's. And so was very tough, especially like doing volleyball and track. And so I'm trying to balance my time of like, okay, this is when you have to do school. Maybe I have to wake up earlier just to do some homework and then stay up even later to do more homework because you have practice from 3 to 6 every day.
And you got to find a little bit of time in the day to have some fun with your friends too.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell that's important to you.
Yeah. I love all my friends. And so even if I had like 1 to 2 hours a day with just them, that's really nice. And so I'm really close with my teammates, and just having that 3-hour practice and hanging out with them is all I really need sometimes too.
So you see yourself as a teacher and maybe a coach down the road?
I'm hoping to teach at least middle school when I get older, in the next 5 years at least. And And I want to coach volleyball and track, and I found so much love for track since I've been here, so hopefully that helps me.
And you said it was good to come to this side of the state because you're close enough to your family but far away enough from your family.
Yeah.
When you have to settle down and start teaching, is it going to be
Oh.
a little far away from your family or back closer to your family?
I'm actually going to go back home to my family.
Okay.
I think being 5 years away from my family have like taken away. I've like been gone away from them for so long. I'm like ready to go back to them.
All right. So the goal with this indoor season is nationals. Where are the nationals this year?
I know indoor is Virginia Beach.
Okay.
Outdoor might be in South Carolina.
Well,
maybe.
let's indoors first. So.
Yeah.
Virginia
We're
Beach would be
focusing
cool.
on indoor.
Yeah. Well, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you
Good
so
luck.
much.
Renee Tiamalu. And that is our Pirate Podcast for this month.
I met Anidas 10 years ago when he first came to New America. He didn't have bad credit, but he just had no credit to begin with. I took the time to really go over some options with him and figure out what steps he needed to take in order for him to build that positive credit to the point where, fast forward 10 years down the road, he's got his business account with New America, he's got his personal accounts with New America, and he's looking to buy his second home also with New America. That was a sense of fulfillment for me in saying, hey, I helped him get through these steps.